A glimpse into why aftermarket parts suck. Alright, so this is the old light. Look at the where the connector is supposed to be going, right? Long snout. Look at the new one. Old one. All the way out there. Look at the new one. Short. Long. Short. What does he tell you? The connector cannot go in the new one and make connection because it's just not long enough. Now what I gotta do is just trying to carve out around it. That's one side. The other side, look at that. Trying to put it in here. You look at the flat, the big side there at the bottom. If you line up the big side, the other one tabs will not line up. One will line up, but the other one is definitely not lining up at all. So now I gotta carve out here. I gotta carve out all of these right here. Make it fit. You know, beware of aftermarket parts. Suck. Alright, so I fixed it. I'm gonna show you what I just did. Oh, this light. Basically, I went around and carved out the holes, as you see, where it was just everything made it bigger. It doesn't look very pretty, but it's functional. Okay? Don't get defeated. Find a solution. That's a true mark of a good mechanic. You know what I'm saying? So now on this one right here, you only got 2 pins at the bottom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to deep-pin the connector, and I'm just going to take those 2 wires and I'm going to connect it here and just call it a day, bro. That's about it. You put some tape around it so it doesn't pull back out, or maybe crimp it a little bit more so it can just have a very firm and positive engagement there. That's it. But we're not going to return this light. The guy bought it online, so we don't have time for that. So the connector's been deep-pinned, as you can see, and that's about it. This black wire goes to the right side, and this violet with a white trace goes to the left side of the light right there, and that's about it. For all you techs out there and DIY guys, never give up because you see a small obstacles like that. Use your noodles. Don't be afraid to use your creativity. Alright? Customer doesn't care. He's approving my methods. He's going to be having a light that's going to be working, and he don't have to wait another 2 weeks to return it to wherever he can from, because he can't reuse that light. It's broken in pieces right there. You get what I'm saying? Alright, so, oh, by the way, that's what you got to do to replace your headlights on a Ford Flex. Remove the bumper, but I just let it hang down right there. I'm not going to go underneath the car to do anything. Just on the side, give me enough room. If you're scared for your bumper gets scratched off, you know, lay something on the ground right there, let it rest on there, and that's about it. Hey, what? We're going one extra step just for extra safety. So I put a right there, right? I sealed basically the connector because I don't want them to touch and create a short. As you see right there, sealed off, right? So now they should be good. All right, both lights are working right there. All right, so that's all we wanted. So here I just do voiceover because it was really windy, so the audio quality is really crappy. So just doing a starter replacement right there. That's a straightforward job. I think the book calls for 0.9 hours. 0.9 hours, not 9 hours, 0.9. So that's less than an hour. Remove the radiator hose. Remove the shifter cable. Basically, you get 2 13mm bolts. Remove those. Remove the connection at the back of the starter. And that's about it, guys. You know, you want to drain the coolant before you get to this point, because if not, then you have a blunder like what I just did. I mean, I know what I was doing anyway. I just was lazy to go underneath the car. But don't be like me. Drain the coolant, at least drain enough, so when you remove that hose, you don't have any spills. But, you know, if you do, it's no big deal. Just clean it up. So again, straightforward. You got a little wiring loom, and it's being held on one of the stud there, like the further side of the 2 13mm bolts. That one has a stud, and you have that the wiring harness basically sits in it. So you got to get a hose ply and remove it. So that's the new alternator right there from AutoZone. As you see, I'm trying to do this by using one hand, and the reason being is I just want to demonstrate how easy it is to do this type of jobs. But every time you see me do that, that's the whole idea behind it. If I can do this with one hand on my camera and one hand actually replacing the part, really, that's that easy. I don't have any special skills or anything like that. Honestly, I don't. So, yeah, go ahead and put the two fasteners back together. And that's about it, guys. I'm using an impact. I would advise to use your finger to put it in by hand first. Once you catch a few threads, then you can use the impact to run them down, and that's about it. That's the best method. So anyway, yeah. So here I'm going to show you what I did to remove the shifter cable. So basically, that's how it sits right there on the transmission, on the transmission, I guess, range sensor or something like that. So you got that white tab there on top of it, which I couldn't figure out how to remove it, so I wasn't going to take a chance at breaking it. And there was a 15 millimeter nut, and this is keyed basically, so don't worry about the way it sits. It's only going to sit that way. On that side, you got two tabs on either side. You're going to have to pry them in and then lift up on the cable to kind of release it. As you can see, I'm trying to zoom in. See that? To the left and the right, you got two tabs there. You got to push out while you're trying to lift up on the cable itself. So that's about that. And then after that, of course, there's the 15 millimeter nut on the side. Remove it, and then you can take the cable and just put it to the side. Yeah, because you're going to have to get the cable out of your way.